your starting lineup?
Going to move Terrance.
Overall, how do you replace a player like Andre? Obviously, he means a lot on and off the court for the team.
You don't replace him. It's no different than having a guy that gets 25 points a game and goes out. You're not going to have one person replace 25 points. You're just not going to have one person replace Andre's defense. I think part of the reason why we've been a really, really good defensive team this year is because it's been a team defense. So we've got to do a good job collectively as a group. There's 5 guys out there, and we've got to play with 5 guys. And Andre was a big part of that. And he really knows how great of a defender he is and what he does. But we also got to have, all 5 guys. Everybody's got to raise their level a little bit. To be honest with you, that's really what it's going to take.
Coach, your game with the Sixers today, your thoughts against Philadelphia?
Yeah, they're playing really good basketball. I think they're an entirely different team than we played in the first time. I think the biggest probably jump for them is what they've done defensively. They've got a lot of size, they've got a lot of length, they've got a lot of guys that they can switch in interchangeable parts. They do a great job at protecting deep paint. Offensively, they've got a lot of unique players. The fact that their point guard is Simmons is so good passing and playing at the basket. And you got Embiid can play a lot of different places on the floor. So, they're a really, really good team. And with those guys and the experience that they're gaining with the amount of minutes they're playing, they're just only going to get better and better.
Billy, you guys, a lot of your defensive identity is forcing turnovers, deflections, all of that. And Andre is a big part of that, not because he's doing it on his own, but you and Steve and a bunch of other guys have talked a lot about driving guys into uncomfortable areas on the floor, and then that way guys off the ball don't have to gamble and all of that. How are you able to still play that type of defense without Andre on the floor?
Well, just playing to our rules, our identity and what we're supposed to do. The reality is, the last 4 games, our defense has been 26th with Andre on the floor. So we need to do a better job as a team defensively. And that's my point. As great as Andre is defensively, if it was all about him, we would have the best defensive rating every game. We don't, because it's a team defense. We've got to all do a great job. And there's been times where, in particular these last 4 games, I've said this a lot, sometimes scoring and winning masks a lot of things. And, we've won some games, but at the same point too, there's also a slippery slope, because to be a great team, you've got to be able to play on both ends. I've never really been a big believer that, people say all the time, defense wins championships. No, really, really good offense and really, really good defense wins championships. That's really what it comes down to. So you can't be a great team by only playing on one end of the floor. And we've got to be more consistent than we've been there lately. And Andre was out on the floor with us then. So he's a great defender, but I think collectively as a group, we've got to do a better job.
Billy, what's the value of Terrance having played those games, started those games while Andre was out before?
I'm hopeful that those experiences have helped him. We've been through this, that we've played 8 games without Andre. This is not like the first time it's happened. Not knowing what was going to happen to Andre, I was kind of happy I got a chance to throw Alex in there a little bit against Detroit yesterday. Certainly we'll need him, we'll need Josh, we'll need Terrance, we'll need everybody to step up and do a really good job there. I think our guys have done a terrific job defensively all year. We've gotten better offensively. I think this group has continued to get better, but with the absence of Andre, we'll have to find different ways to try to maximize the group to the best of our abilities.
You've also got, Terrance is a 19-year-old rookie. Do you have to talk to him at all about not trying to do too much, not trying to feel like there's a big responsibility there?
He doesn't do that. I think Terrance has got a really, really good awareness of himself. He's got a good awareness of him as a player. He doesn't really try to do too much that's kind of out of his realm. He needs to really lock in defensively. He needs to. I think for Terrance, the one area that I think is challenging for him, being young, is things happen so fast and so quick, and the more he's in those situations, the better he'll be. But the older guys need to help him out. The veteran guys need to help him out. He's going to try to do whatever he can to help our team. I don't worry about him trying to do too much. He generally plays it himself. That's not to say that he's not going to make a mistake or think he can drive the ball, but you generally don't see him doing things that are really uncharacteristic of where he's playing outside of his strengths.
Do you view it as a fluid thing right now at that position, or is this Terrance's spot for the time being?
No, I don't view it as Terrance's spot. I think that we've got to look at what's best for the team. You know, this obviously happened last night. We're in a back-to-back, so it's really hard. I think the thing to do is Terrance has kind of played in that role here with Andre's absence. So, you know, it could be a lot of different things. I think as a coach, I have to look at all that, you know, to try to evaluate, you know, starting rotations. You know, I think when you have injuries like that, there's a lot of different things that you have to look at. So I don't want to sit here and say, yes, Terrance is the guy going forward. He could be. He may or may not be, but I think you've got to evaluate everything with what maybe, because I really felt like we were getting into a pretty decent rotation there. And I think guys were comfortable how they're playing. Now with Andre's situation, you know, some of that stuff may change and we may have to make some adjustments.
What do you want to see from Terrance to make that his spot? Like,
It's not really about what Terrance is doing, it has to do with what's best for our team. You're always looking, and there's always a level of sacrifice in every team, you know, so if we feel like maybe it's better for Terrance to come off the bench because we can start a game this way and rotate this way and maybe the best thing, then I think we have to look at doing that. It's not about, hey, listen, you got to prove to me that you earned the spot. I trust Terrance. Terrance is a terrific player. He's a great guy. He's a team guy. He's unselfish. He'll do anything that's asked of him. So, you know, a lot of times it's about, you know, how do you play well collectively as a group.
Billy, with a team like Philadelphia that may be top 5 in defense, but they're at the bottom of the league with how many turnovers they have, do you look at that as an offensive opportunity, like when if you push in transition, you can get their defense kind of off balance and capitalize in offense that way?
Yeah, I think the big thing would be, you know, one is can we rebound the ball? It's going to be a big key, because if we can rebound or generate turnovers, it's going to get us out of the break, and that's where we're generally at our best offensively is in transition because of Russell. But that's going to be the big key because they really rebound the ball well, and because they rebound well, a lot of times it's hard to get out in transition on them. So us getting clean stops, not fouling, really helps our ability to get out in transition.
you've had 2 elite perimeter defenders all season. Now you have Paul. How does his role change now that he doesn't have Andre with him?
It doesn't. The one thing I think is a mistake is to now put all this onus on Paul George that he now has to be our defensive stopper. It has to be our team. Paul's a terrific defender. He gives everything he has in defensive, and I've said this before, he's maybe the best 2-way guy in the league. I know he's going to bring it there defensively. He doesn't mind taking on any challenge. But again, regardless of whoever he's guarding, we still have to be a team defense. You know, we've got to do it together as a group. That's why I think for most of the year we've been a good defensive team, because we've done it together. So it's everybody. Paul's got to step up. Russell, Carmelo, Steven, Raymond Felton, Patrick, Al. Everybody's got to step up a little bit more defensively to make us the defensive team I know we're capable of becoming.
Terrance seems to have a lot of confidence in his shot. Even when the shot's not going, he's not afraid to throw it up. Hit a big one last night, sort of put the game away. Is that a good thing for a guy that young?
I think so. As long as he's taking good shots. The one thing I think has helped him is that the veteran guys have really done a great job of empowering him. I don't know, like no one really talked about this very much, but we're playing Washington. They're making a run. He's in there, and I think they maybe cut the lead to maybe, I don't know, 8 maybe, with 3 or 4 minutes to go. And Carmelo had an open shot. He threw it right to Terrance in the corner for a 3. You know, to me, that speaks volumes of a guy like Carmelo turning down a shot as great of a shooter he is to give Terrance confidence. And Terrance made the shot. So as long as Terrance is taking good shots, which normally he takes, I feel good about him doing that.
Anybody else?
Thank you.